A few days ago, I got a message from YouTube congratulating me on being 5 years on the platform, and I smiled. Although I have been on the platform and I have been creating content in the last 5 years, I think I would say that I really made a significant progress as a content creator over the last 1 year. Over this period, I have learned a few things, and one of them is the fact that sometimes discouragement will definitely come. And although it might seem rational, it might seem like the best decision at that point is to quit. But then, if one decides not to take that path and consider the other option of pushing ahead, you might actually find that there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so in this video today, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys how YouTube has changed my life in less than a year. And so just sit comfortably. If you like, you could get yourself a popcorn and a cup of your favorite drink, and let's just dive right into this video together. Hello, my name is Blessing and I am a doctor practicing in the UK. If today is your first time here, I want to say you're welcome to join us. And so let's just get right into this video already. Okay, so to start with, just like I already told you guys that 5 years ago I started, but I think it was like in the wake of COVID. And why exactly did I start YouTube? I felt there was a lot of misinformation, and a lot of people were just ignorant about the current situation of the pandemic. And I felt, okay, that was one way by which I could put out a bit more information for people to just be aware. And from there, I said, okay, maybe I would just go ahead and create more information, put out health information to help people become more informed about their health. And I pursued that for a while, but then I really did make a lot of progress. I struggled with that for a few years until 2 years ago we relocated to the UK and I started documenting about my life here in the UK. Of course, that also was not successful, but then at the end of last year, I remember I posted this video, but it wasn't long after I posted it before I took it off, where it was more like an announcement to just tell people that that was going to be my last video on YouTube and that I was not going to be putting out any YouTube videos anymore. And I remember I put it out and I got a call from a few persons. Oh, Blessing, no, you can't do that. And I actually took this step because I felt it was the best thing for me to do at that time. I really wanted to start 2025 in like a fresh way. I felt YouTube had become like a baggage that was not heading in any direction, and so I just wanted to put it aside and forget all about it, like it never happened. But I remember I was so discouraged because I put in a lot of effort over the last 4 years on that channel, but then nothing really came out of it. And I guess I was at that point, I was one of the people that will tell you, oh, content creation is not what it is, a total waste of time. Oh, don't do this. Oh, don't do that. But I am so grateful for that call I got that day. It was from one of my pastors, because right from the beginning he was involved in the whole process. I carried him along. He was really interested in my growth as a content creator, and then I told him about all my setbacks and why I was taking that decision, and he encouraged me, and it just fired me up a little bit. And I think at that point I was like, okay, I silently prayed and I told God, I said, I am just going to do this for 1 more year. And if after 1 year it just doesn't seem to make sense, then I will pull out of it completely and know that it is not one of the things I should be investing my life or my time into. And that is very important for me because I have a lot going on in my life. I have a family, I'm a mom, I am a doctor in training, and then adding content creation to all of that seemed already like a lot. And so doing it without and investing so much time and effort into it and not getting my desired result was quite discouraging. And so I decided to give it another shot, and I started with doubts, fear, discouragement, not knowing how it was going to turn out. But then I think I just wanted to continue, and the utmost thing on my mind was to ensure that I kept creating content that was going to be valuable to people, even if it's not going to be a lot of persons. But I felt I had a story. There was something I could give to someone else. I felt there was something that I could that can flow from me to another person. And so I decided to carry that into the new year, and that was when I made this video where I was reintroducing myself and talking about the aspirations that I have for the channel, you know, for the year 2025. One thing that was really important to me that I needed to achieve this year was transforming my health, and it was a journey that I've really put my heart to, that before the end of this year I have set some goals that I needed to achieve in terms of my health. And so I started sharing about that. I started talking about healthy living, wellness, and all of that. And I also noticed that it was still the same thing. I wasn't, the videos weren't getting views, and that was quite discouraging. But I said, okay, I will still go ahead. And so I felt, okay, let me just share about my life as an immigrant doctor here in the UK. And I realized that when I did a few videos talking about how I was able to get into training and some of the challenges I faced as an IMG doctor in the UK and a whole lot of that, I realized that a lot of people seem to be interested in that content. And so I created more of such content while still talking about my healthy lifestyle. Now, this is just me trying to tell you about my journey so far until now. And I would say since the beginning of the year, I've grown the channel to over 2,000 subscribers. I've gotten a few brand partnerships. I have built some, like, a small community, because I know that there are some guys, some of my subscribers that are so supportive. You know, those guys, you would just always see their comments in the comment section, and that has been a lot of encouragement. I've seen some persons have reached out to me saying, oh, thank you for creating this video, it was really helpful for me. And you know, the smile on my face anytime I get such content, because even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 persons, it feels like I have done so much. Because if I had not made that video, maybe they might have gotten the information somewhere else, but it's also possible that maybe nobody would have told them. I also do not know if some of the things I've put out there could have been life-saving, career-saving for some person. But whenever I get such comments, I always smile, because I feel like, oh wow, I'm glad that I am able to help someone with what I have. So I really appreciate YouTube for that, you know, having that platform where you don't need to be anything, you don't need to be a celeb, you don't need to have connections, you don't need to be anything, you just need to be yourself and, you know, be sincere and sharing your story, in helping people, creating value. It gives you the opportunity to be able to reach out to a whole lot of people who need to hear your voice, who needs to you know, learn something from you, who need to be like in your space. And I am really grateful for that. Now, in the course of my journey so far, especially over the last 1 year, I wouldn't say it's been perfect. I have made a few mistakes and I have learned a whole lot of things. Okay, now because the channel is still very small, I seem to be the jack of all trade, and I am doing everything, down from scripting all the way to, you know, posting and everything in between. So it's actually a lot for me to do, as like with my current circumstances, because training is demanding, being a mom, family, everything, it seemed like a whole lot. Over the last 1 year, I've given myself the opportunity to learn a whole lot more about editing, creating, how to create better thumbnails, SEO, and I have ventured into a whole lot of things. And this is all in a bid to become a better creator, to be able to create content that people will enjoy and people will want to watch. So I have also seen myself grow in some other aspects like communication. Now, I guess if you watch some of my old videos, the way I'm speaking now is definitely not the way I spoke in those videos. So I think having done this over a period of time, I have seen myself gradually improve, and I think YouTube gave me the opportunity, because I don't think there's really any other thing I am doing that requires me to sit in front of a people. Yes, I know I sit in front of a camera, but I tend to imagine, or I try to create or remind myself that I am not just sitting in front of a camera, but I am sitting in front of a whole lot of people. Like, my face is appearing on various people's screen, and so it's not just this camera I'm speaking to, but I am speaking to a whole lot of people. And that is something I'm really grateful for, because I have seen myself improve even in my journey as a doctor, in my communication, and I am getting better every day. Now, another thing that I also think that I have learned from YouTube is what I would describe as resilience. So a lot of times we tend to think resilience is maybe when we have major adversities, and getting through all of that, it means you're strong, you're resilient. But sometimes, even for the things that they don't seem like the main issues of life, can still build some form of resilience in us. And that was what YouTube did for me. When you keep doing something and you're not getting your desired result, and you still do not quit. Some days I ask myself, Blessing, how do you manage to do all of these things? How do you manage to sit in front of the camera every time, create a video, edit it, do everything, post it, and you get less than 200 views, and tomorrow you still come back and do the same thing? It was something I just couldn't process, but I enjoyed it. At some point, it was no longer about the views. It was about, I just wanted to see, is there going to be, will I ever get my desired result if I continue to stay consistent, if I continue to put in the effort? And at some point, that was just it for me. I wanted to push until I get to a point, and then I can say, okay, this is never going to work. But it would be difficult for me to take that position, because I have seen a whole lot of people grow from nothing to become big content creators. And so I want to think that if it doesn't go that way, that it's not just because it's impossible, but maybe it's because there's just something I'm not doing right. And so I feel like YouTube has given me that resilience, that even in the face of discouragement, I still found the strength to keep pushing. So I think those are like some of the major things that stand out for me. And there's so many other things that I have learned, like how to respond. Recently, I think I made a video where I was talking about facing some racism online. And if I was not on YouTube, there's probably, yes, it might have happened in some other places, but it wouldn't have been so direct and so pronounced, because people can hide under the cover of anonymity and say a lot of awful words to people, and it's social media, nobody's going to chase anyone. When it started happening, it got to me a lot, but I think I got to a point where eventually I kind of outgrew the whole thing. And even if you make it, I'm just like, okay, it's one of those comments. Oh, it's because you're a content creator. I remember my husband told me, said, oh, when you decided to do content creation, this is one of the things you should have prepared your mind for, that if you're going to put yourself out there, then you should expect that some people are going to throw trash at you, and you should be able to, or learn how to handle it so well, so that it doesn't affect you as a person. In terms of my success story, I wouldn't say I've been able to reach my goal as a content creator, as a YouTuber, but I think one thing I am learning in recent time is to practice gratitude, to be grateful for everything. So even for the little wins, for the tiny gains, be grateful. And if you're able to make those tiny changes, it means that there is a potential that you can make even greater changes in the future. And so that's just the way I choose to go all about it. So it's not like every time I make a video, oh, I get the whole nice views. And I know my channel is still not in that place yet where I want it to be, but then I am hopeful that it's eventually going to grow and it's going to become better. And so right now I just want to focus on creating value, creating content that will positively influence and transform the lives of people, and also mine, because I realized that being in this space is not just about what I can give to others, but YouTube has given me an opportunity to be accountable. I remember documenting my healthy lifestyle journey. That was something that I did intentionally, because I wanted to be accountable. And I know that because I have these people that I want to share this thing with, and because I don't want to lie, I don't want to tell someone that I did this when I did not do it, I knew that one way I could help myself to achieve that was to put it out there. So it kind of created an opportunity for me to be accountable. So even days when I am lazy, when I feel tired and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go for a run today, I remember, okay, Blessing, you have to go for this run, because it's just the right thing for you to do. Because if you don't run, you're not going to achieve your goals, and you're not going to be able to come and say that you achieved something you did not achieve. I don't know if you get me, but it's not just about what I can give to other people, but also the fact that it has positively impacted on my life. So recently I got monetized, and of course, as much as monetization tends to be like, oh, the goal for a lot of people, oh, I want to start earning on YouTube, but I don't think that's my goal. I want to look away from the monetization and all of that, and I just want to focus on growing a community and giving value to people. I thought about it recently, and I'm like, okay, even if it's just 5,000 subscribers that I have, or even if it's just 2,000 people that watch my videos, that I want those 2,000 people to feel like, oh, thank God I stumbled on this video. Oh, thank God I am I am following this person. Oh, thank God I am a member of this community. That's actually the way I really, that's how much I want to grow. That is the level I really want to get to. So right now, I don't want to focus on the monetization, or of course I want to have more brand partnerships, but I also do not want that to be my focus. I want to focus on building a community, influencing people, helping people become the best of themselves, sharing the things I'm learning in the course of my journey. These are some of the ways that YouTube has changed my life in the last few months. And guys, about the brand partnership, it was actually quite exciting. When a certain brand reached out to me, I was like, oh, could you do this and do that? And I was like, okay, like it felt good. And after that, some others also reached out, and it really felt good that, okay, so somebody saw my content and felt I could speak for their brand. That meant so much to me. Although I'm busy, although I have a lot of things to do with my time, but I think I have found it as an opportunity, a means to be able to reach out to others, to support people that I don't even know. And it's so beautiful that you can be at two ends of the world, and just through a platform like YouTube, you're able to connect with individuals all across the globe, and you're able to influence them positively just from the corner of your room. It actually feels good, because that was my dream from the first day I started YouTube, that even right from the corner of my room, I could put out an information that can help people to make the right decisions, to help them take charge of their lives. And as much as I haven't been able to hit that goal, or I believe that there is potential, I believe that the future is very bright, and I think I'm just going to run with that for the rest of the year and even in the coming days. So peradventure you are there and you have considered the option of content creation, and you just have a lot of doubts. I think this is maybe me trying to tell you that there's actually space for you, and I just feel like, yes, somebody needs to hear your voice. That is it. So I think it's time to put aside the fear and the doubt and just step into the waters. Do it if it's something you're really passionate about. And peradventure you have started and it's so discouraging. I also want to encourage you that I faced that for the first 4 years of my time here, and just at the brink of giving up, then the change happened. So I would say continue to persevere, continue to persist, keep improving on yourself, keep learning, keep learning, and keep trying new things. Sometimes we are just stuck with the idea of, I just want to do what I want to do. But sometimes it's about knowing what people want, and something that you have that can meet that need of what people want, and then being able to provide it. Sometimes, yes, it's your channel, it can be about you, but sometimes it's not just all about you. It's about you reaching out to other people. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and this is where I'm going to be this is where I'm going to be ending this video today. So feel free to like, and I will appreciate your comments, and also share your thoughts about this in the comment section. And so till I see you again, take care, bye.